From Lalate headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons Lalate.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over why more Democrats want you to have that monthly stimulus check and how many months of checks and how much they want you to have. It's incredible great news. It's coming up in this recording. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal signed sealed. That one is $3.5 trillion of checks to the American people, mostly application-based, and that's why the Purple Hawks are going to pounce under this. Donut and Donetas are going to get confused. I'll have all the incredible details in this recording. Then we cut to the big details about the MSC and the number one people that want you to have those MSCs. They are on Capitol Hill, and you're going to see new details about the people who are flexing their muscles to ensure you get those MSCs. It's all world exclusives. You're only going to hear them here on this channel. Then we cut to the big money that viewers are getting today. They got yesterday, and you can get as well. How does $80,000 sound? How does $100,000 sound? It's all happening. It's all real. It's all right now because as the toast was toasting, the surf is surfing, and the stimulus is heating up. It's a big afternoon, and it starts right here on Afternoons Lalate. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are today along the coast. It is spectacular. It is gorgeous here in Santa Monica, California. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, so much breaking news, so much new things happening today. We'll be going over those MSCs and those monthly stimulus checks and why the Democrats want you to have more of them. We'll cut into the world exclusive as one guy wants to pay you upwards of $9,000 a person. It's all deliciousness. Then we'll be cutting to that recon, $3.5 trillion of it. Tow truck has passed over the finish line. Yes, and now the tow hitch is at the edge of the finish line. It's getting very exciting. It's getting very close. And guess what? You're going to learn in this video how this is how the White House does it. A little bit different than what you may have seen in the past. The negotiations are at the edge of the finish line, and I'll go over all the incredible details. Then it may be the weekend, but how about walking into the weekend with $80,000? I think that looks beautiful because money on you looks beautiful. And that $80,000 is a sky, and it's not the limit. And we get to those incredible details starting right now. And this is Afternoons Lalate. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. This is Lalate, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Evenings Lalate or Afternoons Lalate and also Overnights Lalate. So subscribe. Also, like the video, too. 3,000 likes. Every like helps, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. Have you signed up for those LA alerts? You need to do so. It's in the link of the description of this video. It's totally free. That's at news.lalate.com. You'll get a breaking news alert when anything happens or a new video goes live. It's at news.lalate.com. Watch for that confirmation email, it looks like, and then you start getting alerts wherever you are on the road or at home. Let's cut to those monthly stimulus checks, House versus Senate, Senate versus House, and get ready to vote because I think you have an opinion. Senators Warren, Wyden, and Sanders calling for monthly. AOC, Omar calling for monthly, but $2,000 a month. And then we have a House Ways and Means calling for monthly. The American Petition calling for monthly, and they're asking for $2,000 a month. But the one that's captivated a country has been that House bill. That House bill would pay at least $13,000 because it's $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Jump in the live chat right now and vote House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. Who gets this Fourth stimulus check, you do. Democrats represent that. If you got a third, you get a fourth stimulus check. Single individual, 75,000 or less. Democrats represent, you get one. Married couple, 150,000 or less. Democrats represent, you get one. Double it. Family of four. Democrats represent, you get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, Democrats represent, you get one as well. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. And the fourth stimulus check will be the same amount for adult dependents and everyone else. And finally, the fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're at the beach this weekend and the check waves at you, it's a tourist check. Foreign currency has not exchanged yet. And then if it kisses you on two cheeks, it's the Italian check. Grazie. And there you go. In this third part of this video, we'll go over the world exclusive as the #1 guy on Capitol Hill. Wants you to have an MSC, and his high end is $9,000. Deliciousness. It's coming up in the final 15 minutes of this video. Stay to the very end. It's getting very exciting because guess what? In the second part of this video, we'll be going over the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed, as the tow truck has passed over the finish line and the tow hitch is looking at the finish line. Oh, wow. We're really close. Yeah. That's coming up in the second half of this video. But first, let's get some money, because money you can get from this channel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the deliciousness of this is third stimulus. I'm going to go over the big money you can get, and that all you have to have is a pen, paper, and a cell phone. Get it ready. We're first going to go over our inspiration story. Then we're going to go over the amount of money. Then we're going to go over the introductory remarks. And then we're going to go over how you get the money and where you get it. It's all third stimulus. Yeah, you may have thought of third stimulus as a third stimulus check. $1,400, and then you immediately focused on the fourth stimulus check, whatever amount it is. No. Back it up. Back it up. There's a lot of money available for you under third stimulus, and that money is available now. And viewers of this channel are getting $50,000, $80,000, $100,000. I think you want that money as well. So let's go over the details. Our inspiration story starts with Johnny. Johnny was one of 3 viewers 2 weeks ago who started the week at $0, but by middle of the week, he was at 40,000. Can you imagine going from 0 to 40 in just a few days? But then what happened was that Johnny didn't stay at 40,000. By the end of the weekend, he got 3 more items, bringing his total to $80,000. Oh my goodness. What did Johnny get? Johnny got $12,000 for SNAP, $10,000 for EIDL. He got $2,000 for taxes. He got $21,000 for rent, then another $26,000 for rent, $9,000 for utilities, and then $50 a month for electric and phone. And finally, a grand total of $80,000. Do you want $80,000? I think you do. I think you do. I'm going to show you how you can get it as well. Guess what? Johnny the next week turned around and showed his friends and family how to get that money as well. And in less than 5 days, they got $100,000. Imagine in 5 days, Johnny got $80,000. Then he turned around and then his friends and family got $100,000 in 5 days. And you're going to see in just a second that this is happening day in, day out on this channel. Johnny says, as of today, I've helped 5 friends save their homes and put food on their table. And 3 family members thought it wasn't going to happen. 2 family members got $41,500. The other one got $57,600. It's been awesome to see people stop stressing about bills. Your channel has helped so many others and myself tremendously. You are such a godsend, Lalate. Well, thank you for the nice comments. So let's go over this big money. We're going to get some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowners utilities, food, and more. And we're going to start first by seeing the numbers that are available. It's not a couple $100, folks. It is upwards of $40, $50, $60, $80, $100,000. Let's look at the rent just to start. Wow, that is just the rent. $27,000. Purple Hawk, Elizabeth. There's Mark, Purple Hawk as well. Have you become a Purple Hawk or Purple Power Casino VIP? The link is under the video. Become a member today. Then we turn to utilities. Johnny got $9,000 as a Purple Hawk because guess what? The numbers are going bigger. The more people subscribe, become members, the better they are getting at getting this money. Then when we look at the SNAP, you're going to see someone in a second who got even higher. They got $19,000 and it's now worth $25,000. And then finally this one, the combo items, 3 items. Nancy getting 3 items at $32,000. Nisi 3 items at $23,000. There's Mark at 2 items at $32,000. Mark got rent and utilities for $32,000. But 4 wonderful stories come out of Mark's details. Number 1, I said to Mark 5 days on camera, go get money for SNAP. And he did. He got money for SNAP in less than 5 days. Number 2, Mark saw that he needs to get other items besides just Snap, so now he's going to upwards of 7 items like Johnny. Number 3, Mark got that Snap and got an enormous amount of money. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. Then Mark reached out to a friend and family, a neighbor, said, hey, watch this channel, LA. People are getting big sums of money. And that neighbor went from zero to $21,000 of rent in less than 5 days. There we go again. Another person who told someone else about this channel, and in less than 5 days, they got astronomical sums of money, 5-figure sums of money. Not alone, because about a week ago today, Chanan did the same thing. She is a Purple Hawk of 2 months. She said, I told my friend about you, LA, and she went on your channel. She's now addicted. She got $10,000 for rent, $5,000 for utilities, $6,000 for Snap, bringing her grand total of $6,000. If you have a success story, send it to me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I'll feature it live on air. Imagine another person who got $21,000 from a friend of this channel. Finally, Mark got that Snap. How much of Snap did Mark get? He got $19,000, bringing Mark's grand total for Snap, grand total for all items on this channel, to $50,500. And can you imagine? But guess what? The sky's the limit, because I'm going to introduce you to Lorraine, who got $106,000, because this is what we do. This is Lalate. I've been getting people money, all different types of money. Seniors, adults, disabled, all types of people money since day one of this channel. If you just found the channel, you found the place to get big sums of money. And that money's still available. Under EIDL and EIDL loans in April of last year, people had applied and they weren't getting approved. So I started this channel to show them how to get those applications approved. And one after another, I got them approved. $25 million of EIDL loans approved, saving their business, their homes, and the employees' homes. Then, 3 days later, a new program was going live. It was for independent contractors who were unemployed. We never had such a program ever in the United States. It was just going live. It was a confusing application. A lot of states were not going live for 2-3 months, like Dallas, like Texas and Florida. Eileen Bellicap out of Florida stayed on this channel, and I showed her how to get $15,000. What was that program? PUA. But then in December 2020, a second stimulus was not coming, just like right now. Fourth stimulus is not landing this next week. So people needed money, and I got viewers $250,000 for money for rent, like Tyrone and his family of 4 out of Boston. Now it's your opportunity to get that big sum of money. So now is your turn. Let's turn to you. We're going to get some money for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, homeowner assistance, and other items starting right now. You need that pen, that paper, and that cell phone. This is money you can get instantly, right now. So let's go over the introductory remarks. First, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. Reach out to all 6. Don't reach out to 1 of 6. Reach out to 6 of 6. Make sure you say the keywords I say in this video. It helps get people approved. Understand, each place has different eligibility. So the first one says no, reach out to the next. If this first one it says no, keep on pushing, because they have different eligibility. They also have different pots of money. All right, you ready? Here you go. You're going to reach out to the following 6 places. Your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county house authority, your state hall, and your state house authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. If you need to hear this again, replay this video. I'm going to repeat it later in this video as well. That's all you do. Congratulations to Tim and Linda, who got this wonderful pot of money. You can get this upwards of $20,000, $30,000 of rent right today. If you got rent and utilities, post in the live chat right now. And yes, you can get anywhere from $5,000, $7,000, even $9,000 for utilities, like Johnny did. For utilities, make sure you call up every single utility company you have. If you have 5, call up all 5. Utility assistance because of COVID. The next pot of the money is the money coming back from the federal government for food for SNAP. A lot of people have never heard of SNAP till they found this channel, and now they're getting it lifetime. Lynn Glenn got it for herself and her son and her mom. Gail got it as well. But Mark got $19,000 because he's a viewer of this channel. And now Mark will be sitting on $25,000 annualized because he's a viewer of LA. What happened? Department of Agriculture made the announcement 2 weeks ago, raising everyone's benefits up an average of 25% lifetime automatically starting in October. It's incredible, great news. So if you got SNAP because of this channel, post in the live chat right now. The next part of the money is the money coming back from your state due to overpayment of unemployment benefits and a computer error. Not your computer, their computer. So where's a laddie direct deposit, otherwise in the mail? And the average payment is anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000. And finally, the refund check from IRS. That is that 2020 unemployment benefits you paid taxes on. Guess what? You're getting that refund check back. The payments are anywhere from about $1,100 to about $2,000. Margaret got it, Michael got it. More about that in a second, but here's a personal message from me to you. This channel was launched for me to help you and you to help other people. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, financial news anywhere, always on this channel. Nowhere else in the country do you have something like this, but also a place for you to get big sums of money. Get in that live chat right now and post your success stories that you got from rent, utilities, food, or internet, because when you do, you inspire other people. A lot of people need inspiration. Just pick up the phone. Just call. Just make the call. This money's available for you. When you post your success stories in the live chat, you inspire people to realize, wait a second, I need to make the phone call. Everyone's making this money. What am I doing? I need to put down whatever I'm holding, the remote control, and pick up the phone and just call. Number two, people are realizing these are big sums of money. Number three, they're realizing the numbers are going bigger than ever before. We have Art Sullivan and Nisi, who inspired us to get 3 items. Now people are getting 7 items. So make the call and post your success stories in the live chat right now. Let's come back to those unemployment benefits due to direct from IRS. They're coming by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track them? Yeah. Go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. And 70% of the time it will work. It'll reveal the taxes you've paid, the tax return you're getting, refund you're getting, and it'll also reveal Freedom Frida's favorite fake facts. Freedom Frida has a lot of fake facts. Have you met her? Here she is. Oh, she has so many fake facts. Among them is that Mitch McConnell invented Christmas. And it was a tax-free event before the President Biden was elected. All these crazy fake facts. There you go. Can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second half of this video starting right now. Deal done, signed, sealed. A $3.5 trillion recon has passed. Wow. Your tow truck has passed over the finish line. It's incredible, great news. Your tow truck has passed over the finish line because the recon has passed. Meaning there'll be a recon. There will be a recon of $3.5 trillion. There'll be all checks for the American people. And it'll be the biggest recon we've ever seen in the history of the channel. And it'll be all for the American people, nothing for corporations. How did we get to this wonderful spot? And when did we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot 2 weeks ago. But we got to it actually earlier. I'm going to show you a second. By taking roads and bridges out of the recon, put in the bipartisan. A conservative publication confirms my reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges, and put it in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. Let's go back a little bit. There's a person that always, there's a new cast member, or among our new cast members, his name is Counter Cod. Whatever happened to July? Whatever happened to June? Thank you, Counter Cod, for that reminder. Whatever happened those 2 months? Well, that's when they did the recon. I had told you on this channel, if you watch this channel, you're going to hear news before it happens. And I told you the month of June and July, the recon was done. Before the vote? Yeah, so how was it done before the vote? Because the way that Democrats do things when they're negotiating among Democrats to do Democratic legislation, no Republicans involved, is they have meetings, verbal, face-to-face oral meetings, and that once they agreed upon something, it's done. The writing of the bill is just ceremonial. The calling of the vote is just ceremonial. They're just confirming something they already verbally agreed to. And in the month of June and July, they confirmed that they had done the recon, that there would be a $3.5 trillion price tag, and that they all agreed to it. Done deal, signed, seal. And that's why by the time they voted on it in August, it was just ceremonial. Great news. Well, that tow truck had passed over the finish line. It was because of people like Ilhan Omar, Democrat in Illinois, progressive as well, and Representative Richie Torres, Democrat in New York, and also progressive, had said we need a recon that goes as big and bold as we want it. We need to have a larger recon. They got it, and then they agreed to it, and then it passed. And that's why the president said, you need to protect my recon because everything in there is progressive priorities, president's priorities, says Brian Schatz and Jalopal. So now that the recon has passed procedurally and the tow truck is over the finish line, it's the tow hitch that's being worked on right now, and it's looking at the finish line. The tow hitch is linked up to the tow truck, and it's right at the edge of the finish line. Let's go over all the incredible details of that right now by separating out the two paths, recon versus bipartisan. Your money recon, also called reconciliation, also called budget bill. Price tag $3.5 trillion, also called the Democratic spending plan, social reform plan. Bipartisan, not your money, roads and bridges. So recon, procedural, passed. That is the tow truck over the finish line. Recon, substantive, currently being worked on. And what does that mean? What is the difference between the two things? Well, the recon substantive is basically very similar to the recon procedural. Let's look at the details of the two items right now. So recon procedural basically asks, are we doing a recon? We are. And what's the price tag? And then how is it split among the committees? So then recon substantive, which is involved right now among those Democrats, they're going face to face and negotiating this all last week, all last weekend, all this weekend, all next week, to ensure that the money is spent the right way. How the money is spent is recon substantive. And guess what? They are right at the edge of that finish line. But you got to push purple power. Seats for Stimulus. Get on social media. Hashtag Seats for Stimulus. Make sure they spend the money the right way. 6 House seats are up for grabs in just a few weeks. They need to be told they need to spend the money the right way. How do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalapal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying, check all the vote on the recon. And that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100-plus House Democrats, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks to that forced stimulus recon. Wow, incredible, great news. Can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of that House Ways and Means Committee recently said they're going to be putting a forced stimulus check in the forced stimulus recon. Boy, oh boy, a lot of Democrats. In fact, almost every single Democrat on Capitol Hill has said they want to give you a monthly stimulus check. But you still have to push purple power. Let's go over who these people are. House Ways and Means, monthly. 100-plus House members of that House bill calling for monthly, up to $13,000 at least. AOC and Allmar calling for monthly, and Warren, Wyden, and Sanders calling for monthly as well. Can we top that? Yes. As the president got something very confusing out of the recon and somewhere else, Ron Klain, his chief of staff, just spoke about it and said, you know what, this is critical because now it makes the recon easier to pass. It's the global minimum corporate tax rate which pays for the recon in part. The recon is paid for by raising corporate taxes on 50-something corporations. They're not paying their fair share of corporate taxes at all. They're making billions of dollars a year and not paying a single penny in federal taxes. This is the method by which forced stimulus recon will be paid. And can we top that? Yes, a lot of breaking news in the final 15 minutes of this video today. We'll be going over the comments from Gina Garando. Then we'll be cutting to Janet Yellen's comments. More about Ron Klain's comments, Ron Wyden, Bernie, and also Chuck. We'll be going over what's happening this weekend, what's happening next week, and my personal comments as well. And then the world exclusive about those MSCs and more about the Pearl Power push. It's getting exciting. The tow hitch is right in front of us. But first, get those monies. Get those monies from third stimulus. Get as many as you can right now. Fourth stimulus, mostly application-based, meaning you have to pick up the phone. Start picking up the phone right now and calling that utilities company. Get these sums of money. Call every utility company. Then City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage assistance because of COVID, and utility assistance because of COVID. After you've reached out to all 6, reach out to all utility companies. If you need assistance with some of the other items, then reach out to the volunteers. Here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA at 1 p.m. Join us. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LA as we go into a big afternoon with incredible great details about your fourth stimulus check of 2021. We'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we got to the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed, and $3.5 trillion of checks coming to you and the American people. And then we'll be cutting to the MSC and why more Democrats are stepping forward to give those MSCs. All that and more, and all the deliciousness of this stimulus. So with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers to YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The link is under the video. Let's get to this stimulus right now. This is what the president had proposed during his campaign run for president. And now the Democrats are putting it into the fifth stimulus package. This is the SSI reform, which starts in September right now, starts drafting, then goes to a potential vote by November. We talk about this because this is SSI reform more so than a stimulus check. Step one, they raise your benefit limits up, then they remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. How is this different than everything else? It's different because I've seen a lot of reports about trying to do sort of Social Security checks in for stimulus. That's different than this. This is an overhaul of this whole entire system. Let's go over all the details of how this works. Step one, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. This is incredible great news if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, and more. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. That new benchmark is inflation. Where is inflation going? It's going to be transitory. It's going to go up in December. It keeps on going up daily. How high? I'm saying about 5%. Wow. That means that first they're going to raise your benefits up, then they'll apply a new benchmark. And that benchmark is 5%, you'll go up another 5%. Not just this year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Then they're going to move the income cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work. It's going to go away. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to end. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance at your own wedding. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear loss of benefits. Finally, will there be a fifth stimulus check? Yeah, there will be. That will be for next year. This stimulus check is represented by the House Ways and Means Committee. And finally, what about those Purple Hawks? If you're in the live chat and you notice someone with a Purple Hawk emoji next to their name, you need to become a member. Membership is under the video where it says join as a member today. Become a Purple Hawk, a Purple Power, or a Calcino VIP, because daily you're delivered from me to you a breakdown of all the big money available under first, second, and third stimulus, and what's proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus. Here is how this channel is changing people's lives and how you are changing other viewers' lives. When third stimulus was passed, some people said, $1,400 stimulus check, let me get it. Oh, okay, I cashed it. Okay, let's go to the next stimulus package. I said, excuse me. There's a lot of money under this third stimulus package. That's why in the month of December and January, I went exhaustively through all the items that are in that third stimulus package. Because I said at the time, when this becomes law, you're going to be entitled to a lot of money. I'm going to be able to get you $14,000. Viewers of this channel, subscribers of this channel, members of this channel, understood that a stimulus package, because it's a package, has a fortune of checks in it for you to get, not just a stimulus package. Stimulus 101, stimulus introductory means just a stimulus check and then run for the door. Stimulus advance, which is stimulus 3.0, says, okay, stimulus check, and then I'll get all the other money in that stimulus package. That's sophisticated viewership. That's educated viewership. That's you. Lots of money available under this third stimulus package, and it's still there. That's why members of this channel are getting $30, $40, $50, $100,000 deals from this channel. And that's why they're ready to get the big sums of money under fourth stimulus as well. And that's coming up right now. But first, become a member. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now. Deal done, sign, seal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the fourth stimulus recon. And just like how you've been killing it under third stimulus by getting 7 items like Johnny, you're going to kill it under fourth stimulus. Fourth stimulus has bread and potatoes, and then it has the potential add-on of those MSCs. The bread and potatoes, the confirmed elements, are application-based. That means you're going to have to pick up the phone and call, just like you've been doing under third stimulus. Under third stimulus, you've been picking up the phone, calling, getting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. If you haven't, today's the day for you to start. Under fourth stimulus, you're going to do the same thing. Lots of checks, lots of different items. All great news, nothing like a 50-page application, just picking up the phone saying, I need the money. This is where you, Purple Hawks, do so well. And this is where everyone else, like a donut person, will not understand what's going on, because they'll say, when am I automatically getting that check in my hand? When is the check going out? Check is not automatically going out in the meat and potatoes of the recon. You have to pick up the phone, call, and ask for the money. Why? Very, very simple concept. Is that IRS doesn't know you need the money. They do not know you need the money. So let's go over some of the incredible details of some of these items to show you how they don't know you need the money. First, we have checks for free school meals for all checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, checks for farming, checks for free internet, checks for clean energy, checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for Medicare expansion, like checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing care. Lots of wonderful, wonderful checks. But you see a common subject about all those? IRS doesn't know anything about those subject matters. They don't keep records of your dental, your vision, your hearing, your internet. They don't know anything about that. Where will those checks be? In those committees, which I showed you earlier in this video. Those committees will have those checks, and that's where you're going to pick up the phone and call and say, I want those checks. Remember when we went over that graphic? There it is. How the committees spend the money. The committees are being given the money because the committees can determine that you need the money when you reach out to them. IRS can't receive a phone call from you about your internet or about your vision or dental. And that's why you're going to do so well. I'm going to go back more over this later in this video. Now let's turn to the IRS sent out checks, the MSCs, monthly stimulus checks or multiple stimulus checks. The incredible great news is that every Democrat on Capitol Hill wants to give you a stimulus check, and virtually all of them want to give you an MSC, with many of them wanting to give you two at $2,000. But the number of months, the duration still remains a very contrasting element among the groups. But when we talk about this recon, the language of the bill is actually called, when it gets reduced to a bill, the Four Symbols Reconciliation Budget Bill. So which committee is in charge of the budget bill? The Budget Committee. Oh, that's sort of obvious. And who's head of the Budget Committee? The Budget Chairman. Of course, it's the Budget Chairman. And who's the Budget Chairman? Bernie Budget Sanders. Wow. So he's very important in this equation. He is very important. And what did he say 2 weeks ago? He said 2 weeks ago, prior Budget Chairman sort of did their thing in D.C., but I like to get out amongst the people. Amongst the people? That's translation saying he wants to hear from you. He wants to hear from you. Now, this is very important because a person who's part of the Purple Power has always pushed. You've always pushed. A person who's not part of the Purple Power just says, tell me when it lands in my bank account. My donut's getting soggy. Here's Bernie Sanders saying, I want to hear from you. And you're not doing anything but talking about your donut. If Bernie doesn't hear from you, then he presumes you don't want something. That's how legislators work, especially Democrats. They've agreed upon a recon, $3.5 trillion. They agree it's all checks for you, but they're trying to determine how to spend the money. And what's important to understand is how these Democrats do the recon substantive. All last week, all this last weekend, the Labor Day weekend, all this week, and all next week, they're doing the same thing, which is going face-to-face and talking with one another about how to reach an agreement, a verbal agreement on this recon. This is how Democrats negotiate with Democrats. Remember, there's no Republicans involved. They come to an oral agreement of what will ultimately be an 8,000-plus page bill. And that oral agreement is the done deal. That's the finish line. That's why this tow hitch is right in front of this finish line. It's incredible great news because they're really at the cusp of finishing the oral agreement. Now understand, when they go and meet in their offices, they're not live streaming on C-SPAN. They're not live streaming on TikTok or something or anywhere else. So you're not part of observing the event. I got it. And that is why Frida sometimes gets some fake facts freedom with herself by saying they're just dragging their feet. They're not dragging their feet. You're just not in the room when they're working, and they're not live streaming themselves, and they're not sending out tweets or graphics or memos about what they're doing, but they are saying they're working. And that's what Ron Klain, your chief of staff and the president, said all last week. They worked all last week. We had Ron Wyden, who said we were working tooth and nail. We have Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer confirming they're talking 4 to 5 times a day. And then we have Janet Yellen, your Treasury Secretary, who says, you know what? You are working a lot, but don't forget to take care of other stuff like the budget, the debt ceiling limit coming up later this month. So she specifically said what Ron Wyden was saying. We have a lot of legislation that has to be done right now, and this one needs to be done first because there's so much other stuff coming up. Even Gina Raimondo, who is the Commerce Secretary, appeared on broadcast news in the last 48 hours, and she said, "I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you. I want to hear what you think about the subject matter." Why are they saying this? Because they're coming to the verbal agreement now. They're in front of the toe. They're in front of the finish line. That tow hitch is loaded up, and they want to say, "I want to hear from you. What do you want? If I don't hear from you, I'm just doing what I think I should do." This is where you push. Now, I've been telling you for months to push, and that's why WR, a wonderful viewer, a longtime viewer of this channel, who might be in the live chat, did exactly what I told him to do several weeks ago, told you to do several weeks ago, which pick up the phone, call your Democratic senators. Did you do that last month? Pick up the phone and say, "We need monthly stimulus checks. I need monthly stimulus checks." So that's what we call advocacy. That's what we call Purple Power Push. Purple Power Push involves a period at the end of the sentence, not a question mark. Not Purple Power Push is question marks or questions. When is it landing in my bank account? When is it being sent? When is the bill going out? That's not Purple Power Push. That's anti-Purple Power. That is the Wens from Missouri. Did you meet them? They're from Wensville. Wendy and Will Wen. All they do is ask questions about when. The answer is you're not helping anyone in the equation because you're just asking a question. Advocacy is saying, "I need it." So Bernie Sanders 2 weeks ago said, "I want to hear from you." So I told viewers to reach out to him. And initially, very few did. But Lynn Glenn did. And Brother Joshua, 2020 volunteer to the community page, a longtime viewer, did as well. And reached out and spoke to his staffer, as WR had reached out to Chris Coons' staff 2 weeks earlier. WR, in I guess it would be now late July, reached out to Senator Chris Coon, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's oldest confidant's staff in D.C., and said, "I want to tell you about the importance of a stimulus check." And that staffer said, "Senator Chris Coons is proposing it." Yes, incredible, great news. Now, as soon as I mentioned that on air, as soon as that broke, that story, I said, not time for you to sit back and have WR Doyle work for you. You need to do the same thing. You need to call your Democratic senator. But did you? So let's cut to now 2 weeks ago when Bernie Sanders says, "I want to hear from you." Brother Joshua made the phone call as well, this time to Bernie Sanders staff, and said, "I want to talk to you professionally, respectfully, kindly about the need for a monthly stimulus check. I'm going to tell you why we need it." And the staffer said, "Yes, Senator Bernie Sanders is proposing another fourth stimulus recall." There you go, world exclusive. He wants you to have a monthly stimulus check. Let's go over the provisions of the conversation between Brothers Joshua and the staffer. Number one, monthly, yes, great news. Number two, a payment, yes, $1,000 to $1,400 an individual. Oh, incredible, great news. Number three, duration, yes. How long? 3 to 6 months. Oh, that's wonderful. Is there a catch? There is. That's Brother Joshua's told that Bernie Sanders wants to hear that he has the support of the American people behind him. We got this, Purple Power. You are absolutely perfect when it comes to pushing. That was what was the birth of Purple Power on this channel, what I created Purple Power for you to push. You can push. Pick up your phone and call Elizabeth Warren, call Bernie Sanders, call Chuck Schumer, call AOC and Ron Wyden, and talk about the need for a monthly stimulus check. I want to tell you why I need a monthly stimulus check. I want to tell you why. And make that push. Because they want to hear your situation. They want to hear about your family, you, your town, your business, your community. Why is your community unique? What is the reason you need a stimulus check? Then they understand the situation. Now let's go to the numbers. Bernie Sanders' high end is $1,400 for 6 months. That's about $9,000. That is almost the same as the House bill, which is $13,000, but takes 12 months. Bernie Sanders' approach is 6 months. Incredible, great news. Now, let's go back to two things. First, we're going to go over application-based stimulus for that fourth stimulus recon, and then I'll have a personal message, which is a little bit similar to what I'm about to go over first, which is that application-based stimulus. There's always someone who has gotten used to the easiest parts of stimulus from first, second, and third to the present. There have been times where there's been easy stimulus, and there's been times when there's been less than easy stimulus. And the easiest type of stimulus is when you have a bank account on file with IRS, and you just sit back and you see a check land into that. That's often not been the case. It was not the case on the first. It was not the case in some regards on the second. And some people got very used to that sort of easy way of getting paid out. Understand that over the history of this channel, there have been a lot of different stimulus items under first, second, and third. And many of them qualified for you. I have, for example, a comment that appeared in one of the videos yesterday, which said, whatever happened to money for essential workers during this pandemic? This is the comment. The drivers for Uber and Lyft, they never got anything from anyone. No one really ever cared about them. Yeah, they did. They got anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 in free money from SBA. Did you ever fill out the form? You didn't, because you just sort of thought it automatically came. Now, back in March of last year, I would have said something like, well, maybe you didn't know about the program. But if you're viewing this channel, there's not a single program I don't cover. If there's something that has money for you, I cover it. So the sadness of the situation is that viewer thought that if you're an Uber or Lyft driver and you worked during the pandemic, or you were impacted by the pandemic or anything like that, that there was absolutely no money for that Uber or Lyft driver since the start of the pandemic. In fact, there was a lot. Not only were there stimulus checks, of course, there was EIDL grant of $5,000, which then became $10,000, which then became $15,000. There was PUA. Either states qualified you as PUA or UI, and that was upwards of $600, $700 a week. It was a lot of money. And it was money on top of money on top of money. So I had Uber and Lyft drivers who got, $20,000, $30,000 from this channel before we even get to the automatic stimulus checks. That is why, but that required you to pick up the phone. It required you to go to a website. The application took all of, 20 minutes. I understand the PUA may have taken a little bit longer. That may have taken you like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, or at least watch one of my videos. But that was sort of an example of someone who just sort of thought that money just sort of automatically comes. And it's unfortunate, because that is where the biggest monies are in these stimulus packages. Assuming that you look at all these stimulus packages from 1 to 3, and now we're on to 4, and you sit back and you say, I'm an Uber and Lyft driver, and all I ever got was $1,400 from the third stimulus package. Did you ever get any of this 20 or 30,000 from the package right before that? You never did. Why not? Now, that brings me to the personal message. And the personal message is, there was a new Sir Lloyd show that aired last night. And boy, did we have a lot of fun on that one. We just really did. And I'm going to bring it back, because viewers saying they want to bring that show. I don't know about the series, but they want to see that particular episode back. It's going to be back. But one thing that was interesting was that there was a joke in that show, which I said on camera. And as soon as I said the joke on camera, it started repeating itself in real life shortly thereafter. They always say humor is the best type of humor is humor that's real. And the joke was about people who say, there's no new updates. And the joke was, well, there could be the Pentagon could be on fire, and I could tell you, that there's 20 different that there's 20 different fires blazing in upstate New York, or in Oregon, or in Texas, and people say, but there's no news, there's nothing new happening. And then Sir Lloyd's response was, what do they mean? And I said, what they mean is there's nothing new unless they know there's a stimulus check landing directly in the bank account. He says, well, that doesn't mean that. That's not new. That means they just want to know when the check lands in the bank account. And I said, yeah. And as soon as the video was over, someone said, there's nothing new, because there's no stimulus check landing in my bank account today. And the unfortunate situation about that is that while it is humor, and while it is a situation that's happening, the important thing to understand is that if a person stays in that mindset of when something automatically lands in their bank account, which is donut, it's 100% donut, then they are really going to be setting themselves up for peril under forced stimulus. Because forced stimulus, so far, the meat and potatoes is picking up the phone. And I can just visualize that meat and potatoes, when it becomes law, people are going to say, there was no money for me. Yeah, there was. You didn't pick up the phone. That is why you need to listen to the whole videos. That is why, as a viewer, as a subscriber, as a member, you have to listen to all the video, the whole video, because there's massive sums of money that are in these packages. And I really got to hit it hard that the previous stimulus packages were much smaller than this one. This one's a behemoth, and so expect to see massive sums of money, and the sums of money available by picking up the phone. And if you just look at your direct deposit account, and that is the full scope of your work, boy, you gotta readjust. You gotta readjust. And it starts today by getting that big money for rent, utilities, food, and internet. Snap right now. Pick up the phone. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage assistance because of COVID. Utility assistance because of COVID. Get those bills paid for all the way to the next year. I'm so proud of you. I know you can do it. Get those bills paid for all the way to the new year. You are going to be financially independent. Because when the winter comes, you'll have a roof over your head, you'll have your food paid, you will be set. And then as a family, we can focus as well on forced stimulus. And with that, subscribe. 4,000 subscribers, YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay with me as we go into Afternoons Lalate, overnights crypto, and evenings Lalate as well. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with Ally for more.